Episode number 350. Milady folded hands, and raising a fine eyes toward heaven. Lord, Lord, said she, with an angelic meekness of gesture and tone. Pardon this man, as I myself pardon him. Yes, pray, accursed woman, cried the Baron. Your prayer is so much the more generous from your being, I swear to you, in the power of a man who will never pardon you. And he went out. At the moment he went out, a piercing glance darted through the opening of the nearly closed door, and she perceived Felton, who drew quickly to one side to prevent being seen by her. Then she threw herself upon her knees, and began to pray. My God, said she, thou knowest in what holy cause I suffer, give me, then, strength to suffer. The door opened gently, the beautiful supplicant pretended not to hear the noise, and in a voice broken by tears, she continued. God of vengeance, God of goodness, wilt thou allow the frightful projects of this man to be accomplished? Then only she pretended to hear the sound of Felton's steps, and rising quick as thought, she blushed, as if ashamed of being surprised on her knees. I do not like to disturb those who pray, madam, said Felton, seriously. Do not disturb yourself on my account, I beseech you. How do you know I was praying, sir? Said Milady, in a voice broken by sobs. You were deceived, sir, I was not praying. Do you think, then, madam, replied Felton, in the same serious voice, but with a milder tone, do you think I assume the right of preventing a creature from prostrating herself before a creator? God forbid. Besides, repentance becomes the guilty, whatever crimes they may have committed, for me the guilty are sacred at the feet of God. Guilty? I? Said Milady, with a smile which might have disarmed the angel of the last judgment. Guilty? Oh, my God, thou knowest whether I am guilty. Say I am condemned, sir, if you please, but you know that God, who loves martyrs, sometimes permits the innocent to be condemned. Were you condemned, were you innocent, were you a martyr? Replied Felton. The greater would be the necessity for prayer, and I myself would aid you with my prayers. Oh, you are a just man, cried Milady, throwing herself at his feet. I can hold out no longer, for I fear I shall be wanting in strength at the moment when I shall be forced to undergo the struggle, and confess my fate. Listen, then, to the supplication of a despairing woman. You are abused, sir, but that is not the question. I only ask you one favor, and if you grant it me, I will bless you in this world, and in the next. Speak to the master, madam, said Felton. Happily I am neither charged with the power of pardoning, nor punishing. It is upon one higher placed than I am that God has laid this responsibility. To you, no, to you alone. Listen to me, rather than add to my destruction, rather than add to my ignominy. If you have merited this shame, madam, if you have incurred this ignominy, you must submit to it as an offering to God. What do you say? Oh, you do not understand me. When I speak of ignominy, you think I speak of some chastisement, of imprisonment, or death. Would to heaven! Of what consequence to me is imprisonment, or death?